The Mothman looms ominously near the abandoned TNT area in Point Pleasant, West Virginia, casting a foreboding presence in the dark, haunted landscape. The Mothman is a cryptid, a mysterious creature whose existence is debated, that has fascinated people for decades. Sightings of the Mothman began in the 1960s around the small town of Point Pleasant, West Virginia. The legend took root when a series of strange and terrifying events unfolded, leaving a lasting impression on the locals and cryptozoologists alike. The Mothman is described as a large, winged humanoid with glowing red eyes, and it is often linked to impending disasters. But is it a creature from another world, a ghostly omen of doom, or something else entirely? Let us unravel the chilling tale of the Mothman, exploring the key events, theories, and mysteries surrounding this legendary figure. A strange encounter. The story of the Mothman began on a cold, dark night in November 1966. Two young couples, Roger and Linda Scarberry and Steve and Mary Millette, were driving through the TNT area, just outside of Point Pleasant. This remote region, used during World War II to manufacture and store explosives, had become largely abandoned after the war. The area was quiet, with darkened skies, eerie silence, and tall grass waving in the winds. As the car sped along a lonely stretch of road, the headlights suddenly illuminated a strange figure standing by an old power plant. Linda Scarberry screamed, and Roger swerved to avoid hitting the creature. Steve Millette, sitting in the backseat, leaned forward to get a better look. The figure stood almost 7 feet tall, with wings folded against its back and two glowing red eyes that pierced the darkness. But before they could react, the creature unfurled its wings and took to the sky with a terrifying screech. Terrified, the couple's car headlights reveal the Mothman standing tall with glowing red eyes, a terrifying encounter in the heart of the TNT area. The four friends were in a state of panic, and Roger pressed his foot on the gas pedal, speeding away from the scene. But the creature wasn't done. It flew after them, keeping pace with their car at over 100 miles per hour. Despite their desperate attempts to escape, the Mothman followed them all the way back into the town. Only when they reached the bright lights of Point Pleasant did the creature finally vanish into the night. Shaken by their experience, the group rushed to the local police station, where they reported the sighting. The police were skeptical at first but agreed to investigate. When they returned to the TNT area with the group, they found no sign of the creature, though strange footprints were discovered near the old power plant. That night would mark the beginning of a wave of Mothman sightings in Point Pleasant. The fear grows. In the weeks that followed, reports of the Mothman flooded in. Dozens of locals claimed to have seen the strange creature, often near the TNT area or flying over the skies of Point Pleasant. Witnesses described the creature in much the same way as the Scarberries and Millettes, a tall, winged figure with glowing red eyes. Some said it was as large as a man, while others swore it had a wingspan of 10 feet or more. The Mothman sightings brought with them an atmosphere of fear and paranoia. People were afraid to leave their homes at night, and the local media became obsessed with the story. The creature was soon dubbed the Mothman, a name inspired by a popular comic book character, Batman. But despite the playful name, the people of Point Pleasant took the sightings seriously. Many believed that the Mothman was an omen of something terrible about to happen. While the Mothman sightings were strange enough, they were accompanied by a series of other bizarre occurrences. Reports of strange lights in the sky, mysterious men in black suits, and odd phone calls began to plague the town. Some locals claimed that their pets went missing or that they experienced unusual electrical disturbances in their homes. The Mothman, it seemed, was just one part of a larger phenomenon that was sweeping through Point Pleasant. Prophecy of doom. One of the most significant aspects of the Mothman legend is its connection to a tragedy that would shake Point Pleasant to its core. In December 1967, just over a year after the Mothman sightings began, disaster struck the town. The Silver Bridge, a suspension bridge that connected Point Pleasant to Gallipolis, Ohio, collapsed into the icy waters of the Ohio River during rush hour traffic. 46 people died in the tragedy, making it one of the worst bridge disasters in U.S. history. The Silver Bridge collapses into the Ohio River during rush hour, a tragic disaster that many linked to the Mothman's eerie presence. The collapse of the Silver Bridge left the people of Point Pleasant devastated. But as they mourned their lost loved ones, many could not help but wonder if the Mothman had somehow been connected to the disaster. Several witnesses reported seeing the creature in the days leading up to the collapse, either perched on the bridge itself or flying overhead. To this day, some believe that the Mothman was a harbinger of doom, warning the town of the impending tragedy. Others speculate that the creature might have been trying to prevent the disaster, though its true intentions remain a mystery. The connection between the Mothman and the Silver Bridge collapse has become one of the central elements of the legend, and it is often cited as evidence of the creature's supernatural nature. The Men in Black. As the Mothman sightings continued, a new element entered the story, one that added a sinister and conspiratorial tone to the legend. Many witnesses who had seen the Mothman claimed to have been visited by mysterious men in black suits. These men, described as having pale skin and robotic, emotionless behavior, would arrive unannounced at witnesses' homes and workplaces, asking strange questions about the sightings. A chilling encounter as mysterious men in black arrive at a witness's home, heightening the fear and paranoia surrounding the Mothman. Some witnesses said that the Men in Black seemed to know details about the Mothman sightings that had not been made public. Others claimed that the men threatened them, warning them not to speak about what they had seen. These encounters only added to the fear and paranoia that had gripped Point Pleasant, leading some to believe that the government was involved in covering up the true nature of the Mothman. Though the Men in Black have become a staple of UFO and paranormal lore, their connection to the Mothman sightings is one of the most well-documented cases. Whether they were government agents, extraterrestrial beings, or something else entirely, their presence only deepened the mystery surrounding the Mothman. Explanations and theories. Over the years, numerous theories have emerged in an attempt to explain the Mothman phenomenon. Some cryptozoologists argue that the creature is a previously undiscovered species of bird or bat, pointing to the sandhill crane or the barn owl as possible explanations. Others believe that the Mothman is a supernatural entity, perhaps a ghost or demon, sent to warn of impending disasters. UFologists, meanwhile, have suggested that the Mothman may be an extraterrestrial being, possibly connected to the strange lights and UFO sightings reported in the area around the same time. The Men in Black encounters also lend credence to this theory, as these mysterious figures are often associated with UFO sightings. Still, others believe that the Mothman may be a tulpa, a creature created by the collective fear and belief of the people who saw it. According to this theory, the Mothman exists because the people of Point Pleasant believed it existed, feeding off their fear and manifesting as a physical entity. Despite these numerous theories, no one has been able to definitively explain what the Mothman was or is. The creature has remained an enduring mystery, with sightings continuing to this day in various parts of the world. The legacy of the Mothman. Though the Mothman sightings in Point Pleasant largely tapered off after the collapse of the Silver Bridge, the legend has persisted. In the decades since, Point Pleasant has embraced its association with the creature, turning it into a central part of the town's identity. The Mothman Museum, located in the heart of the town, attracts thousands of visitors each year, and the annual Mothman Festival celebrates the legend with parades, vendors, and guest speakers. The lively Mothman Festival in Point Pleasant, where locals and visitors celebrate the legend with excitement and mystery. The Mothman has also become a pop culture icon, inspiring books, movies, and television shows. The most famous of these is the 2002 film The Mothman Prophecies, which dramatized the events in Point Pleasant and brought the legend to a wider audience. While the film took creative liberties with the story, it helped cement the Mothman's place in modern folklore. Today, the Mothman is viewed as both a symbol of mystery and a reminder of the tragedies that befell Point Pleasant. Whether it was a creature from another world, a supernatural omen, or something else entirely, the Mothman remains an enigmatic figure whose legend continues to captivate people around the world. The legend of the Mothman has endured for over half a century, continuing to intrigue and terrify those who hear its story. What began as a strange sighting in a small West Virginia town has grown into one of the most famous cryptid legends in the world. Though the true nature of the Mothman may never be known, its impact on the people of Point Pleasant and its place in American folklore is undeniable. To this day, the Mothman stands as a symbol of the unknown, a reminder that there are still mysteries in this world that defy explanation.